G'day there guys, it's your Aussie hubby Marky and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. I do hope you enjoy today's bloody good stories, and with that said I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and let's get right into it. Thanks. Posted by user ThrowRAFSE, titled, I, 27 female, am falling for my sister's, 26 female, ex, 26 male. Would it be unreasonable to date him? So I'm in a pretty complicated situation. My sister Amy was dating Paul for 2.5 years, from when she was 22 to 24. I wasn't too close with him, but we got along. Well, unfortunately, he cheated with her best friend, and this hurt my sister a lot. I was angry and hurt that he would do that to my sister. My sister became depressed and still has trust issues to the point that she's scared to date. Recently, I went on a cruise with my best friend and her boyfriend, third wheeling. He saw me on the bar at the pool. He said hi and I was very cold with him. I told him about himself, and to my surprise, he accepted accountability. He told me the guilt he feels to this day and says that he has matured over the years. I decided to let bygones be bygones, and him and I started hanging out as we were both third wheeling. We did excursions, shopping, etc. I didn't realize how strong our chemistry was. One night we both had a drunken mishap and hooked up. After that, the cat was out of the bag and we hooked up a couple of times. When I got back, him and I had been texting and we're considering taking things more serious. I haven't talked to my sister about it, but I can tell that he's changed and a better person, plus it's been a couple of years. In the comments, the auditor says, "This is a disaster just waiting to happen." OP replies, "I don't think so. I get what he did was bad, but I feel like as a society, we don't give people enough grace to change. You can give people the grace to change without sleeping with them. He broke his ex-girlfriend's heart and gave her trauma by cheating on her with her best friend of all people, and then comes back years later and sleeps with her sister of all people? If he truly changed and bettered himself as a person, he wouldn't be hooking up with his ex's sister. Cheaters are also chronic liars and players, and you fell right into his hands. And let's not forget the massive betrayal to your sister." OP says, "Was he just never supposed to date again? It wasn't like we intended for this to happen. We just had such a strong connection. Would it be better just to pretend that we don't have a connection? I'm so tired of people acting like they have no self-control. Grow up and take accountability for your actions. You're damn near 30 for F's sake. And yeah, it would be better to pretend that you don't have a connection. As a matter of fact, you should have never spoken to that man ever, no matter how he changed. Sure, he betrayed, cheated on, and traumatized my little sister, but we have a connection, guys. No one said that he shouldn't date again, though since you mentioned it, yeah, he really shouldn't. But at what point does that mean that you have to be the one to date this guy after what he did?" I Am Danny says, "My sister is my world. If she did this to me, I would cut her out of my life completely. Do you have no respect for her? The pain that she went through? You want to throw all that away for some guy that's a renowned cheater? Wow. I hate my sister, and I still would never do something so horrific." "Right? But he's changed," she said. Well, if he's changed, why is he trying to get with his ex's little sister? This heifer is selfish. Wait until her sister finds out, and then this broad won't understand what she did wrong. Wow. Just wow. This man is getting off on the fact that he not only slept with his ex's best friend, but also her sister. Two of the main people who should never have betrayed her. You don't know for sure that he's changed. Guys are amazing at showing you what you want to see. A man who's truly changed and is better would not have slept with the sister of the girl that he betrayed and knows that he caused so much heartache and pain. A good man would know that it would cause your sister more pain than he already caused, and if he truly feels so much guilt, why would he add more pain? You've ruined your relationship with your sister for a man that will likely cheat on you too. My brother in Christ, he cheated on your sister with her best friends. That's a double whammy of deception, and you're still attracted to this guy? What's going on? And then on top of that, you pushed it to the point of wanting to date him and opening up to your sister about this. I don't know how you expected that to go, but genuine insanity that you think that this is a normal and acceptable situation to be a part of, and to then bring up to your sister who's already been so destroyed by her best friends, and now you, her own sister? I genuinely want to know what's wrong with you. What happened in your brain? Where did it all go wrong? And now, onto the update. I decided to give him a chance. Well, he's still a disgusting cheater. A few weeks ago, I decided to tell my sister what happened and what I was planning. She didn't take it well at all and just blocked me and said that I'm dead to her. That broke my heart, but I was optimistic as she continued to heal from the breakup and find someone new that she would get over it, perhaps even learn to be happy for me. When I was over his place last night, I noticed a bonnet. It was not mine, and I don't wear bonnets usually. That raised my suspicion. I didn't say anything and I waited for him to fall asleep. I used the Face ID to unlock it when he was sleeping. I went through his phone, and it was bad. I woke him up and told him that he's a disgusting person. I've never felt so alone. I haven't even told my sister yet, but I want her to know that I fell for his lies and that I'm sorry. In the comments, Milky White Egret says, "Yup, instantly lost me at. He cheated on my sister with her best friend. Cheating is bad enough, but with her best friend? How could you even be attracted to someone like that? Betrayal usually doesn't get worse than this. And then to have your sister go after the guy that cheated on you with your BFF? What trash! How could you date someone who hurt your sister to this extent, even if you believed that he changed, and then to claim that you fell for his lies? Lady, you made your own bed and deserve to stay blocked indefinitely." I literally have no words. The sheer stupidity is genuinely breathtaking. My sister stepped on a rake by accident and got smacked in the face. Reddit, should I step on the same rake on purpose and see what happens? What? I'm just supposed to ignore the outrageous amount of chemistry that I have with this rake? It's so weird when people act like slaves to attraction and chemistry. I do understand when teenagers are like that. It's probably the first time they've ever felt it, and they have no idea that it's not a sign from the heavens or something. They all think they're the first ones ever to experience such heights of dizzying desire. But a fully grown adult who's closing in on 30? Idiot. By all means, pursue where that feeling leads if there's no reason to believe that you'll harm yourself or others by doing so, but otherwise, just say no to your hormones. They'll find someone else to get hot for. But what kind of person with an ass-backwards moral compass even becomes attracted to that? Oh, he completely effed over my sister's life? That's so hot. She's delusional. Am I the only one actively repulsed by the thought of being intimate with someone who is intimate with a sibling? Ew. No. Yeah, exactly. With so many people to choose from in this world, why would anyone ever consider their sibling's ex? OP clearly has no self-respect, low self-esteem, and some sort of sociopathic tendencies. Our next post is by a deleted user, titled, "My wife wants to disown our son for cheating on his girlfriend. Who's wrong?" Our son's in college, and he has a long-term girlfriend, and he cheated on her with his ex-girlfriend. My wife warned him to come clean and tell his girlfriend. My son was being selfish, and he didn't. When a month went by and nothing, my wife dropped the bomb. Girlfriend is devastated, but I think her and my son are still talking because they still hang around each other like this cheating thing never happened. My wife is upset that our son would do this. Don't get me wrong, so am I. I just don't want to say in my kid's romantic drama. He's an adult. My wife wants to cut all contact with him because she thinks that he's the equivalent to Hitler because of his cheating, which I definitely don't agree with her on. And I know my wife will deeply regret doing this to her son when our son is going to be talking to his whole family but ignores his mum. In the comments, Nick4424 says, "What he did was wrong, but cutting off contact is overkill." I'm suspecting wife has a more personal issue with cheating and lying about it. Either she was a victim of it, a close friend or family member was, or she did it and regrets it. Son is the embodiment of what personally happened to her and is a constant reminder of it. A more on-the-nose interpretation is that the mum has found a way to make this about her. She sees his behavior as a reflection on her parenting skills and is desperately trying to save the situation. It can be a difficult day for some parents when they realize their kids have already more or less become who they are going to be, in terms of moral compass. Sounds like your wife was hurt deeply by someone who cheated. Maybe she needs to sit Son down and tell him her story to let him understand why she feels so strongly against it. A sit down with a therapist, maybe. No doubt what the kid did is wrong, but this isn't how a mother should react. Imagine if every parent's reaction was to cut off the child anytime they do something wrong. She needs a therapist, and the kid needs to grow up. Yeah, I really feel like your kids kind of need to cross a very dangerous line for you to want to cut them off. Him cheating on his girlfriend and downplaying it, I don't think warrants that response from her. I feel like she needs to talk to him and be like, this is how I feel. I recognize that my reaction was overblown. I'm going to go talk to a therapist. Maybe you should also come with me and we can work through this situation together. Because yes, I agree that what he did was terrible. It is bad. But there's so many more things that he could do and could have done. Are you just going to cut him off every time he does something like that? That seems like a ridiculous overreaction and a good way for him to not want to communicate with you or trust you with anything ever again. And now, onto the update. Everyone wanted an update from the first post I made. Son was dismissive because he was hiding the fact that he got both his girls pregnant. Turns out the girlfriend was still in contact with him because of the pregnancy. The other girl is getting an abortion. Girlfriend forgave Son for cheating. The girlfriend and son are back together and keeping the baby. Wife is pissed. She blocked my son on everything and she's done with him completely. Wife says she doesn't care if I talk to Son or not, but she doesn't want to be involved in his life anymore, and he's basically dead to her. Sorry for all the typos and errors. I typed this up super fast, and I'm trying to keep this short. I probably won't read or respond to the comments on this thread, just wanted to provide an update before I deleted this account. In the comments, Double Painter says, sounds like the side chick is way smarter than the girlfriend. Keeping the baby and continuing the relationship with a cheater at this young age surely doesn't seem like the key to success. But what do I know? Right? Seems like a bad move. Or the son really knows his game to convince his girlfriend into staying? I doubt it. He sounds like a complete dumbass. Did no one teach this kid about birth control? There's 3 kids in this situation. And not one attended a sex ed class, it seems. Do they even teach kids about birth control anymore? I thought many states were abstinence only. Your boy has some serious issues. He's slinging it without protection, knocking multiple girls up, and has no interest in owning the mistakes he's making. Your wife's actions are a little heavy-handed, but it sounds like the boy needs to learn a bit about consequences before it's too late. Maybe this is her way of setting some boundaries on a kid exhibiting toxic behavior. It doesn't seem heavy-handed at all. This kid isn't going to be a father. If mom doesn't cut off contact, she's going to be raising the grandbaby while being disrespected by her son at every turn. Quotes, have a feeling this event is the straw that broke the camel's back. That was my assumption too. I can't imagine that the son's shitty behavior came out of nowhere. I can foresee that a big mess and drama will come pretty soon. He's a cheater who almost had 2 babies at the same time at a really young age. This guy is very likely on his way to a pinnacle of jackassery. Yeah, I assume this too. My brother got into drugs and alcohol at 12, kept running away, crashed my mum's car while driving under the influence, was subsequently arrested, then was arrested 5 more times over the following years for possession, intent to sell, DUI, assault, etc. The final nail on the head for my mum was him getting his girlfriend pregnant as a teenager and leaving her to figure things out for herself for 7 months, then coming back like it was nothing. My mum cut him off because she knew that he would never learn if she kept coming in as his safety blanket. Sounds like this mother just no longer wants to be the safety net. I'd be interested to know how many of his messes she's cleaned up versus how many OP has. I'm sure he'll find out soon how difficult it can be. since I guarantee his college student son is going to be hitting him up for support now that he can't reach the kid, because I doubt he'd be able to afford that kid on his own. Upon further consideration, I think there may be instances where it's okay to cut your son off because, you don't want things like that happening. Though I do imagine as a parent you can identify circumstances where your kid has royally screwed up and is actively going to work on it, and then it's okay for you to provide that safety blanket, as opposed to you're just being their doormat and they're going to continue it because you enable their behavior. Tough situation, but given that he knocked 2 people up and he's just rolling with the punches now, it could go either way. I think she's okay to make that decision of going no contact if she wants to in this situation now, but I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments about this one. Our next post does not have an update, but I liked it, so I still want to cover it, and it's titled, "Am I the asshole for making my future in-laws uncomfortable by talking more openly about my adoption and my parents?" So I, 25 male, am engaged to my fiancée Erin, also 25 female. Since we started actively planning our wedding, Erin's family, but mostly her parents, have developed an obsession with stating how tragic, sad, unfortunate, etc. it is that I won't have my real family there, and that there'll be no blood relatives of mine present for the wedding or our life together. Erin has told them my real family are my dad's and my siblings, but they wave that off like it's BS. Erin has told them the topic is to be closed, and we have left on a couple of occasions because they brought it up since. But the last time I decided to be open. It was a dinner where Erin's immediate family were present and some family friends. Erin's parents brought it up again, how tragic it is, and so I decided to divulge my feelings and my experience with adoption and my parents. Background: I was removed from my biological parents at the age of 5 and placed into foster care. I had a very unstable 2 years before I met my dad and my pa. I was 7 when I moved in with them, 9 when I became eligible for adoption, and that same year, I welcomed the first of my 2 siblings. I was so lucky to find my parents and to end up with the family that I have. I remember clearly some of the bad with my biological family, and I don't miss that. So I told my future in-laws that I didn't find it tragic at all. That people who can make a 5-year-old feel so unloved that they never see a future where someone could care for them. That you can be surrounded by those who share your DNA and never experience kindness or love. I told them I could not imagine having any of those people in my life today, and I could not imagine thinking DNA means more than love. I told them that I was miserable being with those people, and I wished every day for someone to love me, and that I didn't know what love was until I was 7 and I met my parents, and more specifically my dad, who embodies love, and is hands down the most loving, caring, compassionate, and thoughtful person that I have ever met. He is my shining example of someone who loves and has such deep capacity to love. I told them my real parents are the dad and pa who took in a kid who was so depressed and scared and dragged down that he didn't eat like a normal person, was afraid to sleep, and would often cry when sleep did overtake him. I told them that my real parents are the people who walked me to school every morning, who sat and helped me catch up with school and homework because I was so far behind that I should have been back in kindergarten. I told them my real family are the parents and siblings who know that I do not share DNA but love me anyway and have been there for me through every single step of my life since I was 7 and who made me a forever part of their family through adoption. My future in-laws were silent after that. But they told me that I humiliated them and made them uncomfortable in their own home, and I shouldn't have spoken like that. Erin told them that they should learn when to quit and apologize to me. Am I the asshole? It's so outrageous to me that them thinking their humiliation and being uncomfortable in their own home means that you shouldn't have said that. I think it's a good thing that you humiliated them and made them uncomfortable because that's what they're doing to you. They did that to your face. They can dish it, but they can't take it. Thank you, Erin. Thank you for being a good person, for standing up to your family like that, and telling them that they should learn when to quit and should apologize to OP. I think they absolutely deserve to be talked to like that and have the situation explained to them like that because they were ignorant idiots, just throwing vitriol at you. How can they hear the story of a victim who was 5 years old and had to be placed in the foster care system only to be saved by 2 angels, then throw that back in your face and say that you're an asshole for making them feel uncomfortable? The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. Jesus, there's a lot of bad stuff that happens out there. Get used to feeling humiliated and uncomfortable, especially when you make others feel that way. Not the asshole OP. In the comments, Goldie Lax says, definitely not the asshole, and good for Erin for fully backing you up. You say a dad and a pa, so I assume you have 2 dads. I'm wondering if this is more their issue than blood, to be honest, which is really sad. Regardless, you put them in their place. You did nothing wrong. And OP replies, yes, 2 dads. And I think they see adoption that way in general, and not just because I have 2 dads. But it would be sad if that makes it worse to them because I was raised in such a loving home. There will always be people who consider blood more important. I wish you the best with your family and your fiancé. She sounds like a keeper. I always wonder why. They are married themselves. That means they love someone who is not their blood and chose to live with them for the rest of their lives. This, all day. Erin's parents aren't related by blood and they chose to form a family. I say this jokingly, but maybe they roll tide. Erin's a keeper, not the asshole. You asked them to stop talking about your adopted family like they are not your real family, and they didn't stop. Their discomfort is on them. OP says, she's amazing. I feel so lucky to have met her. You sound pretty awesome yourself. Reddit roots for OP and Erin. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.